JP, when are you going to start a Substack or a Patreon? That's a question I get a lot lately. And today I'm going to tell you why I haven't so far, but why right now is the time when I need you the most. Let's go. What's up, everybody? If you're new here, my name is JP. I live in northern Minnesota where I teach and I'm a filmmaker, and I do all that despite having bipolar disorder. And this summer I'm bringing you with, or I guess this spring and summer, I'm bringing you with on a series called Bootleg Miles as we build up to the making of the third Maah Daah Hey film, Back to the Start. This isn't a behind the scenes of a movie vlog series. This is more like come with me on my adventures series. You'll come with me to races. Last week you met my coach, and today I'm going to tell you all about why I need your help. Welcome to the Bootleg Miles. I have put off doing this episode for a really long time because simply I hate talking about money. Now, if you've been around here for any amount of time, if you watch the films, if you listen or watch the podcast, or you've seen any of my other work, there's two things I hope by now you've realized that I am all about. And the first one is I am all about community and building community. And the second thing I'm all about is bikes and bringing people together on bikes and integrating mental health in those conversations. Everything I'm gonna tell you today is rooted in these two ideas. And I just really wanna be upfront, even though I know for a fact that the second I said money, the viewer and listener retention rates cratered. If you're still here after I said the word money, first of all, thank you. But just to recap, I was diagnosed with bipolar in 2020. And the bike was such a huge part of my recovery and starting life back over and finding myself again. And since then, I've made it my mission to help others by telling stories through the bike. A few years ago, I started County 23 Films to tell long-form documentary stories. I launched a Stable Cyclist podcast last year to do the same and allow people to tell their own long-form stories that may include mental health. This year's Maah Daah Hey film is different because instead of telling the story of someone else, we are turning the camera back to me and finishing a story that we tried to start 2 years ago. It is called Back to the Start, and it'll be my story about how I got back up after that mental health diagnosis. And it'll take you on a timeline from the 2019 Maah Daah Hey 100, my first attempt at it, through 2020 with my diagnosis and kind of getting myself back together, and all the way to 2023 when we were thinking that I was going to be headed to the start line, only to be sidelined by a very near catastrophic crash. And of course, you'll get to come on that ride too as we rebuild things and get to the starting line of this year, 2025 Maah Daah Hey 100. But if you've been following along, then you'll know that in the first two movies of this series, we took that show or that film to premiere tours, and through different states throughout the United States we went, gathered in theaters, gathered by these local cycling communities, and we worked with those cycling communities to host events where we could talk about things like friendship and relationships, and we saw a huge impact when we did that. So imagine how we feel when we think about the potential for events where we still gather the local cycling communities throughout the United States to watch a film that then leads us to have conversations about mental health. All the while also utilizing local mental health experts in their field in those communities to help us point cyclists towards the tools they may need. I said at the beginning of the episode that people have been asking about why I haven't started Patreon, or why I'm not doing a Substack where I can monetize the channel better. And it's because I made a promise with myself at the beginning of 2025, and that is this. I was only gonna come to the Stable Cyclist community a single time to ask for help. And I knew it would be this one. And I knew it would be a big lift. So the reality is, we're trying to fund this project and we need your help. We're trying to raise a total of $15,000, $7,500, which would be in the production avenue or realm, which is actually less than we did the other movies for. But I am really focused on trying to shift money as much as I can over to hosting premieres. And so any dollar over the amount of $7,500 goes to help fund premieres across the United States. You can find a link in the description, whether you're watching this on YouTube or listening on an audio platform, to where you can go learn more about the project and where you can give. And my plea with you is this. If you have been impacted by the content on this channel, if it has helped you in any way or helped family members, please consider giving so more people can have that same feeling and get that same help. So one thing I want to address is this, and this is a really fair question. JP, I have seen you are now supported or sponsored by Flow Formulas and Wahoo and Dawn to Dusk, and by the time this video comes out, there might be another one, but I'm not sure. And if you are supported by all these companies, why do you need our money? Well, all of those companies have supported with product only. The bike industry is in kind of a tough spot. So although these companies are pretty jazzed about what I'm doing, many of them have frozen budgets where they can't really help right now. And so not being able to wait 6 months until those budgets unfreeze, I came to you, the Stable Cyclist community, the ones who have been there. And the reality is this community is really big. If everybody that tunes in, on average, to a Stable Cyclist podcast each and every week, if everybody in that number gave $10, we would more than double what we need for this project. Another really fair question is this. What happens if one of these companies does come back to you with a lot of money to support? And the answer is really simple for that. That just means we're gonna do more premieres. Premieres are expensive a lot of the time, and the more money we have, the more events we can host. All right, another question that I wish I didn't have to answer, but I do, is what happens if you can't race? Now, this is a good question because in 2023, we did this before. And then I had my accident and I couldn't race. And we pivoted. And that's what we would do again if, God forbid, something happened. We would pivot. There are other projects that are on our wish list, or my wish list, to see happen in the bike world, in the mental health world, stories that haven't been told. My goal, obviously, is to get to the race, but should something catastrophic happen again that keeps me from doing so, the money is not just gonna sit in my bank account. It's gonna go to tell stories where, again, we can do premieres and build community and bring people together in different parts of the United States. In 2024, the race organizers helped us finance the Maah Daah Hey film, but this year we're doing it ourselves. And this is it, another feature-length documentary, another big impact on people's lives. And if you've ever wanted to be a part of something big, bigger than you, that can help a lot of people, this is a great chance. Like I said, the links are in the description below, and there you can find information about what fits you best personally. But more than any of that, even if you can't give, I am so grateful for each and every person who tunes in every single week to the content that I am putting out here on the Stable Cyclist, because you are helping to drive the numbers, and that means more people can be helped. And more than anything, you're uniquely you, and you're important in all this too. So as always, thank you for hanging out today. Thank you for coming on a bike ride with me. And remember, you are loved.